Hi, my name is Janine Bradbury. I'm a PhD student here in the School of English at the University of Sheffield, and I'm a teaching associate here as well. When I heard that Amber was kind of curating this project and this collection of videos, I felt really compelled to come and share my experiences of an area of thought known as black feminism. Black feminism is generally concerned with the ways not only that patriarchy kind of affects the way that women live their lives, but the ways that racism and class prejudice and imperialism factor into this as well, because feminism has been perceived in the past to be a particularly white-centric ideology, and black feminists have worked very hard to try and dismantle that and look at the ways that black women and white women can work together to address these intersecting prejudices which collude really to affect the lives of women in many different ways. Black women face a double bind. They not only have to battle the gender discrimination that we're all familiar with, but they also have to combat the effect of racism on their everyday lives as well. And this results in a particular and peculiar experience for women of colour in this country and other countries as well. The thing that really draws me to black feminist thought is, I think, in part the way that it privileges the perspectives of women that are overlooked, not just because they're black, but perhaps because they're not academics, or they're not theorists, or they're not operating in the circles where we tend to talk about feminism quite freely and happily. Alice Walker particularly influenced my approach to kind of reading feminism and understanding how feminism works in my life. And I first read The Colour Purple when I was 17, and she talks a lot about the idea of womanism in that book and in books she's written since. And womanism, I think its major strength is the way that it looks at the ways that women like my mother or my grandmother or my ancestors have contributed to the fabric of our culture here in the West in ways that aren't necessarily obvious to other people. And so black feminist thought has really sustained me, really. It sustains me intellectually. It helps me choose which books I'd like to share with my students and what I'm going to lecture on. It helps me get through my professional life. I work in a very male and white-centric research environment, which can be difficult at times. I think out of 14,000 professors in the UK, at the last count, about 20 or so of those were from black Caribbean or black African backgrounds, and only 10 of those were women. So for somebody who'd like to go into that profession, it can be incredibly off-putting. There are lots of reasons why there aren't more black women in academia, more black women doing videos like this. But black feminism helps give people like me the courage to continue in this kind of environment. And you don't have to be a black woman, I don't think, to be a black feminist. Some of the most important black feminist texts that I've read have been introduced to me by men, by white men, by white women who are my role models, and they're my role models alongside these great black women thinkers, because they have the courage to say that they care about my experience and they want to include it and celebrate it in the work that they do.